Now I'm very pleased to welcome Arnold Dix. Very honored to have the new elected president of the ITA with us today. Fine, I will not present anyway. Arnold, anyway, we came already several times during the BTS conference. He's a lawyer, a scientist, a professor in engineering, counsel in White case, I would say an all-round international tunnel guy, let's say. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction as the all-round tunnel guy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and greetings from the International Tunnelling Underground Space Association. I want to talk to you this morning about something which I think is really, really important for us individually, as organisations, and of course for societies in the world. And that is, in substance, my friends, we are constructors and not destructors. And sometimes that seems to get lost. Sometimes it seems to get lost in the dialogue and the criticisms of our projects and the whole process of getting approvals, that we're actually in the business of making things. And that's really important. And the sorts of things that we create, typically, not always, are fantastic connections. And the connections that we make are not obstructions. Again, we're creators, we're connectors, we're empowerers. And again, sometimes when you listen to the discussions about our projects, you could be forgiven for thinking that there was something about us which wasn't positive. But we're the scientists and the engineers. I mean, we do the good stuff. We're the empowerers of our society. That's what we do. That's why we do our jobs. We deliver health. My goodness, we deliver the health of people and environment across the planet every morning after we wake up. So for the billions of people on the planet who have clean water and sanitation, thank you, underground space. And for those of you who don't, we're on our way, and we shouldn't be apologising for that, because it's one of the great gifts of civilization, and yet often people forget. It's probably the most important gift, the gift of health, the gift of clean water, and the protection of the environment from us as a species, for us as a species. But we do have a little elephant in the room at the moment, or some might say less and less elephants in the room. We've got a climate emergency and an emerging very serious sustainability agenda. But my message is actually that agenda is for us. It's actually not a threat for us at all. It's what we do. It's real. This was just an extract, I think, off the BBC website yesterday. So from, no water in dams to what's it cost for your electric car to women suffering the most in particular countries because they're so hot. These actually capture the essence of sustainability. And it captures the essence of what we can improve, what we can address, our role. And if you weren't convinced, my friend Patrick Bravery from Liberty Global Group recently shared some data. And in substance, the data is showing the insurers are feeling this now. So whether it's the International Association of Engineering Insurers or Swiss Re or Munich Re or Liberty, their data is showing that this climate-related risk profile is changing, and it's changing in the consistent way that climate change would predict. Bigger storms, more intense. It's that simple. And I remember 20-odd years ago visiting Munich Re, and up in the Munich Re building, which was really cool because I hadn't been to Munich before, but I discovered the best atmospheric scientists and mathematicians, and 20-odd years ago they had a map predicting just this. It's not new. The predictions have been there for a long time. It's just, it didn't seem real, and maybe in a world where everyone feeds us a lot of rubbish, it's really hard to tell what's true and what's not. This one is true. These times of crisis, global crisis, local crisis, country crisis, regional crisis, they're our times. All of our times. The politics might have got us into a bit of a mess, but the engineering and the science that underlies what we do is actually central to getting us out. Historically, that's what always happens. The politicians and what have you make their, favourite decisions based on the, flood of opinion, power, wealth, whatever they do. But in the end, it's down to us to get the job done. Because we're real. We do stuff that's real. We do stuff that can be measured. We impact people's health. We get things done. And that's what I really love about what we do, because it's real, because it makes a difference. And I don't really care about the rhetoric, because I can measure it. And we're needed now. Tricky, because how the world needs us now, we need a slightly different way of engaging with it. And there's an old saying, in the English language at least, that you can't find new land with an old map. So we've got some new land to find, so we need a new map. That means we need some new tools. And it means we need to walk a slightly different walk. But we still end up doing what we do best, which is the engineering and science and doing stuff. So the United Nations Global Compact, which is saying to the world from the UN perspective, hey look, politics and business have changed. Sustainability and the climate emergency actually is normal now. That's the new normal. And what we do, it's no longer about the size of our TBMs. That's okay, actually. It's okay for it not to be about the size of our TBMs anymore, because amongst ourselves we can have that discussion because, hey, we're into all of that sort of stuff. But for the community, they don't care. They're not going to vote on a particular project because you've got the biggest TBM now in the UK, or the smallest TBM in the UK, or the fastest TBM in the UK, or the whatever it is. It's not that place anymore. But delivering social outcomes is. And social outcomes is what we always do. So actually, for us, it's just back to core business. It's, in a way, business as usual. New way of talking, new way of measuring, and explaining to the world how we do this. And if you're in any doubt, have a look at the visuals on Thames Tideway. I don't see a how big's my TBM thing in there at all. I see fish and clean water and trees and a bird and some sort of artistic thing. Whatever it is, I don't see a how big's my TBM. And people love that. And politicians love that. And the reason they love it is because they can understand it and it's true. No, it's true. We're going to have fish in the Thames because of this. Isn't that really why we do what we do? Isn't that why people spend money on what we do? And the fact that we love talking about how we do it, we would expect that, of course, because that's what we do. I mean, we're scientists, we're engineers, we're technical people, so we love all of that stuff. But that's how we get the approvals. That's how we engage with our community. And it's true. So this UN Global Compact provides a strategic framework for all aspects of what we do, from comparing designs to concepts, even contracts, the Sustainability Development Goals, measurement, labour, equity, finance, operations. It's in there because that's what we do. So it's not scary, it's what we do. The current troubles of the world enable us to do more of what we do. They don't disrupt it unless we let it. So we shouldn't let it. Because if we don't do it, it won't be done. We are the people who do this. No amount of will by the politicians will get this done. Give them a shovel, let them try. They can't. We can. Our community needs us to do it. Sustainability Development Goals, there's 17 of them. They all look awesome. I read about them. For me, I'm even more optimistic than Antonio about these. For me, they all talk to me about what they do, but that just shows I'm a bit overzealous on the tunnels. For me, tunnels do everything, but that's just how I roll, and I can always make a reason, you know, everything, well, life on the land, life below water, climate action, reduced inequalities, industry and innovation, gender equality, clean water, good health, zero hunger. We tick all the boxes. It's not a threat to us. This actually is a way for us to tell our story. And there's been some very, very clever people go and do analysis on infrastructure generally, and they say, and it's the work of someone called Thacker, and I don't know who Thacker is, but I'm sure he or she is very clever, but no more clever than us, because we know anyway, all of these SDGs get positively impacted by what we do. Saving the world is what we do. It's what we do. Sanitation and clean water. All cities, I defy you to give me a city that doesn't have this as an underlying fact. All economically vibrant, safe, clean cities of the world have got sewage and clean water. All of them. Transport. Our transport solutions make the most economically vibrant, safe, clean cities in the world work. All of them. Sure, there are other big cities in the world that don't have these transport systems. Enjoy. Drink the Coca-Cola. Don't take the water out of the tap. Be careful of your water bottle. Make sure someone hasn't, you know, done the old screw it up and put in the water out of the tap or worse. The transport stuff, 1 billion journeys a year in Paris alone, underground. Bonjour, enjoy the juice of an orange and sit outside opera. How can you do that? 1 billion people are underground doing their transport journeys. Protecting the environment, the drainage solutions that we have, this one's Tokyo, protecting people in the environment from increasingly intensive floods. Energy, our pumped storage solutions, they are the largest on-demand energy sources on Earth. Move over, Mr. Musk. Fact is, our pumped storage solutions are awesome. Our underground storage solutions, absolutely fantastic. Wastes, resources, and of course, secrets. Everyone loves to put their secrets underground. We don't talk about it so often, but I'm sure many of you have been underground and been to those secret places too, which are very cool and make you feel very important. So we do that very well. Our industrial solutions, our farms, as we heard about before, ultra efficient, great on resources, near the people who want to eat the food. Terrific, also good for repurposing. Our underground homes. I've got a friend who's got an underground home. I'm so jealous. I don't think he deserves it. I tell him that. I say, I should have an underground home. You should be living in my home. He just laughs at me. Anyway, I'm hoping it leaks water. But anyway, I shouldn't tell him that anyway. And of course, these assets that we create are intergenerational. They're awesomely intergenerational. And you repurpose them. And of course, you know, Thames is famous for it. And the repurposing, we just heard about those robot truck things in Switzerland. Makes me think, what's the difference between a railway and a road in 20 years if already we're talking about robots running our freight? What does that mean for us as people? So, you know, this convergence of connections. In the end, we're about connections underground. So what's the challenge? Well, how are we going to engage in this narrative? Not just, oh, tunnels are great. I really love tunnels. That's what I normally tell people. I love tunnels. I'm the tunnel guy. We actually have to own this narrative. We have to be able to dominate the room. And we have to be able to dominate the room because we're right. because what we say is true, and we've got hundreds of years of track record that tells us that it's true. So I'm saying be a bully. And to be a bully, we need some tools. Intellectual bully, not alpha male jerk. I mean, be a bully. I'm very sophisticated. I just have a couple of points. I beg to differ, that kind of bully. Intellectually bludgeon. One of the problems we have is we don't have the tools. We're actually still measuring the size of our TBMs. I've got a 14.2 metre. That's not enough to win the argument in the room. We need new tools, new transparent tools, new publicly accessible tools, credible tools, tools people understand, so that we can engage with the climate emergency and sustainability. And we're going to have them soon. Because what the ITA has done is it's reached out around the world and it's said to the people who make standard tools, not used to measuring the size of TBMs, standard tools, work with us. We at ITA have the expertise. We are really into the underground, and we know one thing: you're not. We are. So we're bringing our expertise to the table with SQL, BRIM, the BRE. And they've agreed to create the world's first underground-specific sustainability indexing tool, using all of the overarching criteria, transparent, measurable, allowing us to compare, allowing us to explain, using a framework which is understood and accepted. That initiation began just a week or so ago. It's begun. So it's about net zero carbon, whole of life performance, health and social welfare, the circular economy, disclosure, reporting, biodiversity, allowing comparative analysis, quantitative analysis. The tool is on its way and more. The call has gone out from ITA to other makers of tools in the world. Talk to us. We'll build a tool with you as well. We're not picking winners. We just want to help the world. So going to the US to talk to them about their tools, been with AFTES in France, talking about the tools that they use. It's everyone welcome to our table. We will build underground-specific indexing tools with you. We're going to make it work. And one of the things that ITA wants to do, and this is aspirational, actually, this is me going, I think it's a really great idea, we haven't done it yet, but if I say it loud enough, maybe it'll happen, is we want to host all of the public domain sources for embodied carbon data to become the trusted repository in the public domain for the data, so that anyone on the planet using the tool can be confident that the data being used in the tool is correct. The keepers of the truth about these things. But wait, there's more. Just like on the television when they're selling the knives, having the sustainability tool isn't enough. Because one of the things that we notice as professionals, one of the things that we know as scientists, but most of all what we know because we're human, is that things are changing quickly. And our projects essentially last for an eternity. So, if change is going to happen in the life of our project, if change is going to happen between design and construction and in operation and refurbishment, under the current legal systems, that equals dispute. Change equals dispute. Innovation equals fight. Fight equals legal battle. Legal battle means waste of money, resources, health. Health of us, health of everybody. It's just a waste of time. So we want to do something about that. So if, as a general proposition, you accept that a claims-based contracting environment ecosystem is not the place for a sustainability debate, for a sustainable infrastructure delivery, for sustainable infrastructure operation, then we need new tools legally as well. So FIDIC, as you're aware, we've developed an underground works contract with them. We're just reviewing that at the moment to get a sustainability dimension. But wait, there's more. because it's like the knives on television. NEC4 are on board. NEC4, relationship contracting, have agreed, and in fact the project has started again with the ITA to develop relationship contracting that contemplates the changes that we would expect with sustainability. Relationship contracting where innovation doesn't mean dispute, where innovation doesn't mean, oh my God, it's off to the lawyers, where innovation is anticipated because that's what we have to do. Our projects take too long and innovation is occurring rapidly, and it will fail from time to time. Contracts, can you believe it, that anticipate failure, because the better good for our world is to innovate than fear of failure, because the prize of innovation is better than the losses for innovation along the way. So we're on it. It's on its way. It's started. The first meetings have already happened. But wait, there's more. Having got NEC4 to agree and having got BRE to agree, I then did what every person knows is the ultimate test for humanity. I invited them to Chinatown for Yum Cha here in London. And that is the most secret weapon in the world. There is nothing like Yum Cha to bring great people to their knees and agree on things they otherwise might not have even considered possible. So over dim sum and what have you, it was agreed that we would combine now, having got the agreements of both separately, we would combine sustainability indexing and all the transparency that comes along with that, relationship contracting and everything that comes along with that. Now they fell into the trap of dim sum and agreed they would work together to create an NEC4 underground specific contract, specifically that links to a BREEAM sequel indexing, so that the sustainability narrative and the changes and innovation that we might get through the indexing process is embraced within a relationship contracting NEC. Can we do it? I don't know. I also then said stretch target 2024, not negotiable version 1, and they're on it, because I said we've got a climate emergency, got a few problems, so we can't just muck around. They agreed. So what does that mean? It means we're getting close to being able to not only engage in the narrative, but lead it. We're getting close to being a position to explain to the world transparently why what we know is so awesome is so awesome. And as soon as we do that, my friends, there is no shortage of resources to help us. In a world where we can't get people to join our industry, when we can actually explain how absolutely awesome and planet-changing it is, people will come. That's what young people want to do. They don't want to dig holes and know that they've on the project with the biggest TBM in the UK. That's actually not going to float their boat. Well, it's going to float some of their boats, but maybe you don't want to work with them anyway if it floats their boat, right? You want the inspiration of the young, the inspired, the intelligent, the motivated. You want them on your team, because then they've got to go dig holes, get dirty, get hot, all that sort of stuff, the hard work part. But they're going to come. The money will come. There's no shortage of money for environmental sustainability things on the planet. There's a shortage of money for big, ugly, horrible civil infrastructure that people don't understand. That's not us. We're planet changers, life changers. World needs us now. So, back to the UN Compact. This is our friend. Gives us a credible United Nations position of our sector, for us, for governments, for agencies and employees. It makes sense. It's transparent. It's what the UN does. It enables us. It's a celebration of the sustainability objectives. It credentialises us. It allows us to assume a leadership position. It just brands us in terms of the new narrative. It's still what we normally do, but it helps us engage and be seen for what we really are. And this is just an example, like no poverty, just what I said before, partnerships, climate action, all that. Hey, it's what we do. It's our day job. It's just about walking the talk. And we already do it. So I think we're ready to lead. We can rise above the discussion of carbon footprint. I've got to tell you, just secretly between us, because we're all new best friends, if the answer to the global climate emergency means denying people in Africa access to water and sewage because they haven't got the electricity to charge their vehicles, there's something really wrong, and I don't want to play in this game anymore. That can't be right. And it can't be right. Of course, if you've got the infrastructure to charge vehicles to be electric in your particular country and you've got that opportunity, well, okay, that's all right. But don't deny the majority of the planet access to health and water and sewage because they can't charge up a vehicle. It'd just be nuts, completely nuts. And that's why we need the tools to measure, to be able to say, yes, there's a burden. But you know what? These people need water and they need sewage and the environment needs it too. We've built the cities of today and we're going to build better cities tomorrow. And protecting the planet and people is what we do best, and it's what we've done for centuries. We're needed more than ever means just getting on with the job. Means innovating, and innovating means failing. It's okay. We're going to sort that out. We'll get the contract sorted. We'll let that be okay. And that means some projects probably won't happen. It's okay. If they don't stack up, they don't stack up. There'll be more projects on the planet stacking up than not. 100% guaranteed. We know how to do this. We're the original masters of sustainability, efficiency, health, economic prosperity. It's what we do. We've got hundreds of years of track record of doing this, protecting the environment, what have you. It's what we do. And it's our time now. It's our time to align with the UN. It's our time to walk the talk and join the UN Compact. And let's play our part in saving the people and planet. And that, my friends, concludes my little talk. Thank you.